think the head, and this is going to sound bad because it is a toy, but it looks a little bit too kiddie for me.
It is so tiny, but this looks really cool. I will give him that. But Bobby, as somebody who bought Red Swarm, what are your thoughts?
I am boiling on the inside.
Welcome back, Transformers fans. We're back with another round of news. As always, I'm James the Con.
And I'm Bobby the Bot.
And before we get too far, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. It really helps us out and only takes a few seconds of your time. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers before TFCon, which is coming up. We hope to see some of you there. And speaking of TFCon, let's talk about somebody else that we're going to see there. And that is Victor Caroli, which is the narrator of Transformers Generation 1. Now, I don't know much about him, but why don't you take the stage, Bobby, and let us know if you're excited to see him.
I'm excited only because this is the first ever convention that he's done. So that means to me that he's either someone they didn't really think about inviting that much, or he's turned them down a lot. So, you know, from the movie, I do remember, you know, the beginning, it is the year 2005. And, you know, it was just a very humbling moment for me because I couldn't wait as a kid for 2005 so I can have a car that looked like Hot Rod. And we don't have cars that look like Hot Rod right now. So that's what I'm really excited about. I actually will probably get his autograph just because I don't know when's the next convention he's going to do.
Wow, that is a little strange to hear. You're going to actually wait in line for somebody that's not Peter Cullen. But we'll have to see what he autographs. I'm going to say forehead, but we'll keep you informed.
Well, your forehead, that works.
No. So let's move on to more convention news, and we've got the DairyCon Fall Special. Not so sure what Fall Special means, if there's another DairyCon or if that's just this year's name. It'll be on Saturday, September 30th of 2023 at the St. Killian School in Hartford, Wisconsin. It's free admission, and they have free tables, so if you come and want to sell, you know, just a random figure, you can go put it on a table for $20, which is kind of cool. The first 20 people will get a free gift, and inside of that, it will have a secret exclusive figure. I hope it's a cow. And snacks are provided, which honestly is the most shocking thing about all of that, because none of these conventions have free snacks.
Not at all. And in most cases, my credit card bill is just as much as it is for Transformers. So this is really cool. It's definitely probably really small since it's being held at a school. I love that it's free admission and free tables. I really wish I was closer. I would go if I could.
I agree. If I was a few hours away, I'd probably make the trip out because that sounds fun. And I've been hearing about DairyCon for a decade at least. They've been around for a long time, so it'd be fun to see. So let's move on to some things that were just announced. And now these were supposed to be in the leaks, but about 5 or 6 hours today, maybe even earlier, this was actually officially announced. But before we talk about the figures, let's talk about the packaging. So the leaks are correct. It is Transformers United, which, you know, they said Transformers Uni. And we'll talk about the name in a second, but the boxes look great. I really like how they put the yellow background for the characters and the purplish design on the outside. It really makes them pop, and I think it'll catch some kids' eyes.
I like that they're driving at night, so everybody has their headlights on, you know, so that looks really cool. The United, I like the font of the United, and the box art does look good.
Yeah.
And
the only thing I have a problem with the name is that Takara called something Transformers United, if I'm not mistaken. And we talked about this on the last episode, so go watch it if you haven't. They're running out of ideas for these Transformers names, and they're just recycling the same words over and over. But the packaging looks fine. And even the wording and all of that looks fine as well.
Yeah, I agree. I'm digging the new look of the packaging. Just need something to protect the figures so I don't see missing heads in my Targets and Walmarts.
Yes, or completely missing figures like I've seen. So let's talk about the figures themselves, and let's start off with the one we have the least amount of pictures for, and that is animated Optimus Prime. So this was leaked. So what do you think about this?
I never watched animated, and I probably won't watch it in the near future. I think I probably will have to if they're going to be releasing figures like this, but I do not like it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, and I can't say why. I think the head, and this is going to sound bad because it is a toy, but it looks a little bit too kiddie for me in the face.
I can see what you mean. And that's that animated aesthetic that they're kind of teetering the line, and it's kind of strange. Like, go one way or the other, you know? I actually think this is a very competent figure. And if I was a Chug collector, this would probably replace my other... I don't have a Chug Optimus Prime. This would be my Chug Optimus Prime. It's so much cooler, in my opinion, than the G1 Prime. It's more interesting. I like that he's a fire truck. It makes sense that a heroic leader, even though this isn't a heroic leader, he was just a janitor guy, but a heroic leader would come down and be a fire truck. That always has made more sense than a random cab. I get why they did the cab, but still. The proportions are great. He's big, and I like that weapon and how he can hold it in two hands, unlike that Game Reverse Megatron. I don't know if you remember that, but he could only hold it at the tip, and it was like a ice cream cone of doom. But I actually like this. Will I be picking it up? Probably not, because with Hasbro's track record, this thing is going to be probably like 5 inches tall. And I'm not paying... Who knows what the new Voyager price is going to be? Could still be $35. So I'm just going to say I'm not paying $35 for this. I think the prices are going to increase, though.
That really scares me. Luckily, I won't be picking this up, but this is... Wow. I like that we're getting all these different series of Transformers throughout this whole legacy theme. It's really fun. It's really cool. There's things kind of for everybody. Wherever you collect from, this legacy line has touched on that for you.
Almost. There's a few that I wish they would touch on more. But I will be picking this up with Motormaster, because that's been leaked as well. And the only reason why I'm doing that is I have the original BotCon figure. And it's just nostalgia bait for me. So I need to pick that up. I will pay the $45 that Voyagers are going to be when that comes out. Let's move on to Bumblebee. Now, what do you think of this little fella? And it's animated Bumblebee, obviously.
I like the head more than I like the studio series. Heads from the movies, but again, this one I'm out on. It's same thing with the Prime. It's just if I was a kid, I probably would be all over this. Actually, I know I would be all over this, but I guess kind of as an adult collector, I don't like the face too much. And again, that's throwing me. It makes me feel like a old guy with a little kid toy, and all these are kid toys, so no shade thrown at anyone there, but it just doesn't fit in the collection that I've gathered so far.
Yeah, I understand. Well, the first thing I saw this, I didn't like the head. But I like everything else. I really like everything else. I like that alt mode. Again, if he can't be a VW because of licensing, this is perfect. A little Mini Cooper. I don't think you could really go wrong with that for a Bumblebee. I really like the proportions and stuff, but that head throws me off. So I'm hoping we get a cool repaint of this down the line as somebody else with a more G1 head. The head's not bad, though. It's just not for me. But the real reason why I'm not picking this up is it is so tiny. That Prowl was already tiny, and this is even tinier. And scale be damned. This should be a core class figure. And another reason why I'm not picking it up, I hate how the forearms attach to the shoulders, and there's that gap in between, like the armpit. That's why I put that picture there. That's the first thing I noticed about this figure. I'm like, that looks horrible, and I wouldn't be able to not see that. So this size is just ridiculous, though, for me.
Yeah. You're furthering me passing on these figures.
Yeah, and this is how they acclimate you to buy core class figures at deluxe prices. They make the figure smaller and smaller and smaller, and now we get this. Everybody's gonna go pick this up, and then here, oh look, here's Prowl. Oh, he's the same size. Oh no, that's fine. That's just like that Bumblebee. Now that might be 5 years down the line, but you watch.
Oh, don't jinx us.
You can talk to Hasbro about that. So let's get into some more interesting and fun territories. And the first thing is we've got this trick or treat thing for your trunk. It's a trunk accessory kit that's Transformers. Now, I grew up in a time when we would go door to door trick or treating, so I don't know much about these things, but it does look good for what it is. And $15 isn't bad at all.
I saw this and had no idea what it was, and really I still don't. So I guess you drive down the street with your back open so the kids can just kind of run and jump in and jump out or something like that. Is that what we're doing now?
But if you do that, you have to wear a clown mask and do the Gacy tricks. No, with this, there's a whole bunch of cars to park and they have their trunk up and you decorate them and kids go from car to car trick or treating. It's supposed to be a safer way to trick or treat than going house to house where people, might kidnap the kids, even though I don't think that's ever been recorded.
Okay. Yeah, this is I thought I lived in the suburbs. This is like the suburbs of the suburbs if you're loading up the SUV with candy. Yeah, so this is all new to me, and even though I have a 3 soon to be 4-year-old, yeah, we just go the old-fashioned way in the neighborhood, and she's running up to the doors, getting her candy. But this is kind of cool. I actually think I like my idea better of, mom's driving and, you just jump in the back with your thing, and that way you can be lazy and not have to walk up to everybody's house. You can hit a whole neighborhood in 10 minutes. So, but it looks good. The graphics look really good. I've never seen this before, so kudos to whoever came up with this idea.
It's probably making a lot of money. So let's move on to this. So this is a Moby Fox Transformers Decepticon Megatron smartwatch band. So we've talked about them before. They did a Bumblebee. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was an Optimus, but it was an Autobot one. Mm-hmm. And a normal Decepticon one, I believe, as well. These are 4 Apple Watches. Would you be picking this up if you had an Apple Watch?
It would be very tempting. I think probably, and wow, this is like another episode. I actually just took my watch off. I am a watch guy, so the reason I don't have an Apple Watch is because I have so many watches. I do like the fact that this is a unique band, and I would probably wear something like this at TFCon and some of the other conventions we go to. So I think it's pretty cool, and I possibly would have gotten it.
I think it's really cool too. I like the colors and stuff, but for me, it's too colorful. I don't like that gray. It would be distracting on my wrist, and I'd constantly be looking at it. So I would be out. Replace the gray with the black, and maybe I would get it.
Yeah, you do wear more black than I've seen on anybody.
Well, you're hanging around with the wrong crowds.
I see, clearly.
Next, we've got the Matrix Workshop M95 Gamer Megatron Cannon. So they're coming to the rescue and fixing the Hasbro's faults, even though we shouldn't have to. And this does look 100 times better than Hasbro's attempt. Even though it's a little wonky in tank mode, I will say that.
It's funny, I've seen this character so much in stores now.
Me too.
And I almost thought about picking it up, but I did not, because that would have been the worst impulse buy. I mean, ordering online is one thing, but actually seeing it in the store and grabbing it, knowing you don't want it, that's, I think, double bad. I like this. It does make it look a lot better. Even the tank mode is okay with me. I like this, and it is a shame that we have to buy these third-party add-ons.
Well, speaking of third-party add-ons, we also have this, which is the M49. Oh, yeah, M49B, and this is the Toxitron Grimlock, the Tiger Stripe Grimlock mold. It's a sword for that, and I think it's really cool. Again, you have a Grimlock, he should come with the sword. I don't care what anybody says. Grimlock should always have a sword, and he should have had this on release. Both the original 86 version and the Toxitron one.
The part that throws me is that Hasbro started these things. You know, when the G1 toy came out, it came with the sword. If you're going to call it the 86 and you're referencing a time frame, you have to include the same type of things that came with the original. And so it doesn't make sense that they don't include a sword. And again, thank you to Matrix Workshop and other third-party companies that make these accessories for us. It just sucks because it makes the figure so much more expensive than probably what it would have been, or what I would have liked, I should say, to have paid for it.
Yeah, and especially these type of accessories where it's kind of essential. Maybe not for the G2 Tiger Stripe, but the original Grimlock, where it's kind of essential. That's the whole reason why I didn't buy that leader class. I knew it didn't come with the sword. I knew I would be going and paying at least $10 at that time for another sword, if not more. And I said, he's not worth that much, you know? And now I wish I bought him and sold him for $300 on the secondary market, especially when I saw him on sale at Target for like 15 bucks. But I still... That took me away from that figure. And I think if they started adding little things like this, it would really help them out. Yeah, I just think it's kind of sad. But you can still get it if you want to.
I do like the sword, though. It does look good.
Yeah, it does look very nice. All right. Next, we've got this, which is Pengu Toys PT-03B Lion Face Commander, the black version. So it's obviously their original one, and don't give me that look because I'm not picking it up because the Legends class figure that's oversized and still looks Legends. But this looks really cool. I will give them that. So the red one's about 50 bucks right now on the Chinese retailers, and that's still too much for me. I was happy with that black Jetstorm or Jetfire, excuse me, for 20 bucks. If this was 20 bucks, I'd probably be picking it up. They're both oversized Legends, but I'm not paying 50 bucks for this.
I'm not either, but I saw this picture and it brings me back to when we first started the channel and we were talking about things, and I said how much I don't like Transformers with clothes. And so this is what it made me think of, is, you know, again, him wearing this cloakish type of thing. It looks, I like this. I think I like this one better than the red one, but I won't be picking this up either.
Yeah, the only reason why I like the red one better is because I can make it into a new character. And even if that character's small, it would make sense. So. All right, next we have Collection Space Starscream or Slipstream. We don't know. It's obviously just a silhouette. And these are the people that are making that Bumblebee, which, foreshadowing, we might see a little later on in this episode. But what do you think about this silhouette?
I'm hoping that it's a Slipstream.
Me too.
If not for anything but to see you happy, and you've been begging for it for a while. So I think the silhouette looks good. Again, I didn't grow up with female seekers, so this would be new, and I'd probably still add it to my collection just because, based on the price. But I guess it's okay, for what it is.
Yeah, like you said, I will hope it's a slipstream, obviously, and I will buy a slipstream. If it's a Starscream, a Skywarp, a Thundercracker, a Conehead, or whatever, I won't be picking it up. I don't need female versions of those. Skywarp would look very nice though, in those colors. But yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully it's a slipstream. Keep your fingers and toes crossed.
If they make it, the same colors, just call it a different character, please.
Well, you could always, it's not Hasbro, so you can do whatever you want.
Well, that too, but if it's...
Use your imagination. Let's move on to
old.
Funbee Studios, and they have the Junkion Head of State. So I bought the comic panel. I guess Beatrice wears the head of Retgar, and he speaks. But what this made me realize is Beatrice has an Autobot symbol, which pisses me off because I've always known him as a Decepticon, so that's going to get covered up right away when I open him out of the box, which I have not done yet. Yeah, if you like the comics, I could see why you'd be picking this up.
I didn't know about this. I don't get it. But the part that I'm upset about is Retgar needs to have his long goatee.
I think the only reason why he doesn't is because of the 3D printing and all that stuff. So I get it. I do think that it is sculpted very well. Besides that, but that again could be a limitation of the technology.
I don't know. I don't have one, so I can't speak on that. But that's the only part that throws me off. And the whole wearing his head on the chain, I don't get it. I'm very curious where that is. But I see Jazz is mentioned on here, and I know one of our BVC fans loves Jazz, so shout out to you on this.
Yeah, there's your Jazz shout out of this episode. So let's move on to this. So I didn't have much information on this. This is New Age Toys XM2 Duel, and it's obviously DOTM Megatron. And it looks good, but New Age does Legends. So is this a Legends class figure? And is it like the most complicated Legends class figure that I've ever seen? Or is it a masterpiece figure? I don't know. But that's the information I found online. Maybe it's even a completely different company that's doing it. Things could get a little murky over on Weibo. But it does look nice in relation to what it's supposed to be. I can't knock them on that.
So I know we talked about a Legends Prime last week or on a previous episode, and I couldn't get past the the Prime. I didn't like it at all. I didn't like this Megatron in the movie or this version of Megatron, but this toy looks really, really good. And I believe it is a Legends. I'm trying to figure out how they get this to get to that alt mode in a Legend scale. This looks really good. I won't be picking it up, so it's not for my collection, but it's almost like it's two different toys.
Yeah, and I will definitely be watching some reviews on this when it comes out because I want to see that engineering. Yeah,
this looks really good, and kudos to anybody that's picking this up. Again, it's not for me, one Legends and two Movieverse, but yeah, they knocked it out the park with this one.
They did. Now let's get into some updates and see if these people knocked it out of the park for you. So, will you be getting ModFans KS01 Bless Return, which is the Titan Class Fortress Maximus head. So, this is supposed to go on the head of the Hasbro figure. It's expected to ship by the end of the year. The retail price is about 198 won, and it comes with a big radar gun, which we can see here. This is everything it comes with. So, are you going to be picking this up?
Yes.
That was fast.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was going to do. I'm like, are they coming out with the Fortress Maximus? And you know, I don't know. They've been doing a lot of figures lately that I've actually kind of liked, and so the way to my heart is going with a big Titan or Combiner. And yeah, they got me pre-ordered already.
It does look really good. It does look really good. So, all right. Well, next we have something that I think might cause a little vitriol in you, and that are these two are up on at least Show Z. The price is only $130 instead of the $180 or $170 that TF Source was. And it is more tempting to me, but I still think I'm going to pass on that Red Wing. I don't know if this means it's still limited to 200 because they got more stock and it didn't sell out very fast. You could still buy that Dirge, which was limited to 300 on TF Source's website. Ramjet, excuse me, not Dirge, Ramjet. But Bobby, as somebody who bought Red Swarm, what are your thoughts?
I am boiling on the inside right now. and the reason I'm boiling is not so much of the price, because price, I've had it for a couple of months now, whatever. It's that they said it was limited to 200 pieces, making it seem like it was an exclusive that's not really an exclusive. And I doubt that they've moved, you know, I know I'm not the only person who bought one. So that really upsets me, because you're putting something out there that's not really true. So if it's, oh, we only had 200 pieces, but everybody else had more, that's BS. And so I'm upset about that. The color looks amazing. I'm still very happy that I picked it up. It looks really good on my shelf. So I like the figure. I didn't have any problems with the figure. I had hand problems with some of the others. This one was actually perfect. No issues at all. So no problems with the figure. And at the price point, don't like it. Rather pay the $129. But I've got, I've had it for a few months, as I mentioned. It's the lies about the exclusiveness of this figure, so they can kick rocks now.
Well, even though we don't know if they lied. It could be very unpopular. I don't think so, but it could be. Well, I think we're going to be seeing this at TFCon as well, to be quite honest with you. And I think that you'll be able to ask them what's going on with it then.
Oh, I will. I definitely will. I definitely will.
So we'll be reporting back, because I saw this and I was like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, I kind of want one, but at the same time, I've got too much stuff coming out.
Yeah, I do. I like the figure. I like both of them, actually, and so it's more so I need to understand when they say it's limited to 200 pieces, what does that mean? 200 pieces this week? 200 pieces this month? We're going to have more? That's what I need to have an understanding. So the next time they have something like this, I can understand what that really means and not have to jump on it so fast.
Yeah, do we only have 200 pieces for Customer Appreciation Week, and after that more will be available, or what? Yeah,
right.
I get where you're coming from. All right, well, let's move on to this thing. So this is the Zine, I probably said that wrong, Magic Classroom Weapon Morphers, which we talked about, I think, in the last episode. So all three of them are a combiner. Now, this changes everything for me. It looks janky as all get out, but I love it. And if it's $40, I will pick it up, because I really do think this is fun. I like the non-traditional combiners that are, 3 or 2 members. I think that's really cool and very unique. So, okay, that's a $5 combiner though.
But if
it's the same price, I will probably pick it up, because I think that's cool. And the figures aren't bad by themselves. They're not amazing. They're not bad. and this combined mode isn't good, but it's not horrible, even though he's walking on missiles. So he's just going to blow up at any time. What are your thoughts?
Talking about your feet are on fire, you know. I didn't see this one, so this one slid past me. Depending on the price, I may pick it up just to go against these Dinobots. I don't know what the size difference is or what, but you know, I've purchased a couple of, as you said, janky toys lately, and this would fit right in with those. So maybe I'll create a janky shelf.
KO shelf. So
I do wonder how much it is. $30 I'm in.
Me too. So we'll have to see about that. But speaking of KOs, we also got this. So this is the Wei Zhang Black Apple Optimus Prime, which is 12 inches. So they're re-releasing it, which is very strange because I thought Wei Zhang went under when all of that rating went on. So I don't know what's going on, but it will be very interesting to watch.
Is 2023 into 2024 going to be the year of the resurface of companies we thought were gone? Because we're seeing DX9 stuff pop up and Wei Zhang pop up. I mean, I'm all for it. I love it. So maybe we'll get some more unique toys, things. Who knows? I like the guns.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the figure either. But I know it was very sought after. It's about 12 inches tall, and it was very sought after back when it was out because people really liked it.
I like the guns.
There we go. Bobby likes the guns, but does he like these guns? So this is Wonderful Trans WT02 Sky Atlas, which is really interesting because it is the what's that called? That one company, I think it's Flame Toys, if I'm not mistaken. It's their version of Optimus Prime, but these people engineered it to actually transform and be all posable and stuff. So it comes with all of these weapons, and all of them look like they could store on the figure too, besides maybe the axe, which I think is really cool. And here it is in a few glamour shots where the axe could turn into a shield, and he has these Wolverine claws, and it's not bad looking. What do you think, Bobby?
You know, we've talked about a lot of the figures that we would get if they transformed. I'm not sure if we ever talked about this one per se, but I know there's definitely some out there that we really, really like. And if this company is actually going to be taking some of those on and making them transform, I'm here for it. You know, this one, it's a different take on Optimus Prime. I actually somewhat like it, and I actually somewhat may put a pre-order in if it's somewhat likely that it's in a price range that I can afford.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I really like this. I think it looks great. It really depends on the size. I would want it to be MP sized and not chug or whatever. I don't know how big it is. But I would totally buy this, especially if it was in a Nemesis color scheme. I think that would look really nice.
In an MP scale, what price would it be for you to grab it?
100 to 120.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, if it's good quality. It's not a knockoff. It looks like it has die cast. It's in the same caliber, I would say, as that Ultra Magnus I bought, which was about that price.
Wow.
But it would have to be really good. I honestly would probably skip this in hopes of a Nemesis repaint, or Toxitron, or Shattered Glass, or pretty much anything other than normal Prime.
So I was thinking like the $75 range.
Oh, I think it's gonna be more than that.
So I will have to see.
Yeah, I think because it has die cast, it looks like in the knees and stuff. I think this is gonna be more expensive.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
If it was $75, I would buy Optimus for that price.
Wow. So let's pray for 75.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What about this little girl right here? This is Collection Space CS01 Little B, which is a female Bumblebee.
I don't know what size this is. Do you know what size this is?
I'm assuming 5 or 6 inches tall. That's all assumptions. I don't know.
If this would scale with my masterpiece, I'm picking it up.
Really? Even with all that kibble on its back?
It looks like you can take the kibble off from the second picture.
Yeah, but then it can't transform.
Maybe it plugs in, which I would hate for parts forming and things, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. Again, it's one of those crazy things. It's different enough, unique enough, and it's not Bumblebee. It's Bumblebee's kid sister, or something. I don't know. It's something different, but I like it.
Wait. Take a break. So you said you don't like samurai people because that's too Earth, but you're okay with Bumblebee having a kid sister?
No. So it's not so much the little sister. Like, I don't really like that. I don't want it to be a sister or nothing like that. I was just throwing something out there. Don't look at me like that. But more so like a second run. Whoever built them, this is the second run of B figures or something like that. Or so it's Bumblebee 2, or I wouldn't name it Bumblebee, but maybe this is Ladybug. Something like that. I don't know. But if it will scale with my MPs, I'll pick it up. I like the alt mode. I like the mismatch. I mean, I don't know if this is grayscale or if this is the color it's going to be, but I actually like, she looks like she was, maybe lost or something like that. And I don't know. I just kind of like it. I don't know why.
Yeah, so these are prototype pictures. They've showed off colored images before. It's going to be Bumblebee yellow. If it was in these pictures, in these colors, I would pick it up. Bumblebee colors, I'm not picking it up. I hope they release it in blue, which is Glyph, which is supposed to be a female Bumblebee type that turns into the Volkswagen and stuff. I would buy that one because it's supposed to be a girl and look like Bumblebee. But I don't need a Bumblebee that's a girl in my collection. I don't need a Bumblebee in my collection. So I would definitely be skipping this.
Well, this kind of goes with, I was saying the same thing about, the Skywarp or whatever. If you're going to do it in the colors, I mean, don't do a gender change on it. Just make it a new character and give it its own identity.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Next, we've got Matrix Workshop M93 Brawn. Now, you really liked this the last time we talked about it, and now we can actually see it on Brawn. I do think it's funny that he still doesn't hold the cannon. It's just kind of resting there. Is this something you are interested in?
Not with the cannon just resting there. That looks terrible. Like, come on. I like that they gave it the drill option, and he can actually hold the drill. The drill, I guess, somehow plugs into that piece, and he can hold it as a weapon as well, from what I've seen in pictures. But maybe there's something on the side that we're not seeing that slides out at an angle, and his fist is wrapped around it, and he's actually holding the cannon. He just doesn't hold it from that white post. I'm hoping that that's the scenario versus him just balancing it on his arm and fist, because that would be terrible.
Well, you are very optimistic, and I guess you'll have to buy it to find out.
I won't.
Well, what about this? You buying this?
Oh yeah, already pre-ordered, and I got the B or the A or
the
B,
US
whatever
colors.
The other version pre-orders as well. This looks like a moth, but I'm okay with it. I'm really happy with the first two releases. So I can't wait to get these. And the first two, the Buster and the, what was the name of the other guy? I have the box around here.
Dreadwind.
Buster, Fright Storm.
Well, Buster's the real name. So
Buster.
Dreadwind is the official name.
Yeah, that too then.
So with this, I think it looks really nice. I don't like the colors. I don't like that blue and red and purple together. It just doesn't jive with me. I do plan on getting the US colors, which I think is Darkwing. I could be wrong because I always get confused because they're like a mixed match of names. I do think that one looks better, but this looks really good if you're trying to get this character on your shelf.
Yes, one in alt mode, one in bot mode. That's how it's happening. And then
I definitely put this one in alt mode because that blue does not mix with that red and purple. Either which way, let's move on to this. So this is King Toys Swoop or Long Yan. So we've got an up close picture of it. So its beak turns into one ginormous, boob to poke people out with. It's very Madonna, if Madonna was missing one. The alt mode, I think actually looks kind of cool. I do like it. And here's like the whole thing. I think this looks really cool. I do like it. As a standalone figure, if they did what they did with the Predaking and this came out in a different color than Swoop, not gold, but maybe like a black color scheme, I would pick just this one up. And none of it, because I don't care about the combined mode. But as Swoop, I don't like it.
I was totally out on these. I did not like the Dino mode at all. I saw this today and thought, this doesn't look that bad. And then I looked again and I was like, wow, that actually looks pretty cool. And then I was like, man, let me take a look at the other ones again to see if maybe I changed my mind. Because that's exactly what happened with the Predaking. Is initially I was completely out on it. And then after probably 3 or 4 releases of the figures, I was like, oh, this doesn't look that bad. And I ended up getting the original set and the gold set. So I haven't put a pre-order in. I still want to see this in color. It's definitely very stylized. And if anything, maybe I'll pick up the Swoop. I don't like the way the dinosaurs look in the other modes. So that's kind of why I was initially out. But
so you don't like this pterodactyl mode?
This one actually doesn't look that bad. It just looks very stylized.
You're just talking about the other one. Yeah, the other one that came out looked really derpy.
Yeah.
But I think this looks nice. So not as Swoop again.
Not as Swoop.
But as like some other pterodactyl. And I'm hoping, I think this would look really cool in red, and not as pterosaur, but just as red in general. I think this, red and black maybe to be like some sort of evil demon thing.
Red-chested Swoop instead of blue-chested Swoop.
But it should have like red wings though, I think. Instead of silver wings. But I think this would be cool. So we'll see.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about some things that are coming in. And we have a lot of KOs. We already talked about them, and we have even more. And the first thing is the oversized KO of Jetfire. I couldn't find a size on this thing, so they're just saying it's oversized. So I'm assuming it's like 14 inches tall. It looks fine. I'm not interested at all, though.
I'm passing as well. I have two. I have the Takara and the Fans Toys. I'm good for the MP size, and then I have the mainline Jetfire, which I'm happy with as well. So I don't need another one.
Yeah, it is a really good mold.
It's very good. Very.
I just don't. I don't need it any bigger.
Yeah, I don't have a place to put it right now.
Yeah.
More shells, more shells.
And we've got more Optimuses to put on those shelves. We've got another movie Optimus, and this is the Studio Series version, and this is the metallic one. It's BW TW 1022 Jetwing Optimus Prime. It looks fine for what it is. I really like that chrome grille. I don't know if it's chrome or just a shiny silver, but it does look nice.
I like the swords.
There we go. Bobby likes the swords. Are you picking up either of these G1 KOs?
I am.
Which one? Or both?
Both. I had a beachcomber as a kid, and I miss him. I don't know. He was the first character on TV that I saw that was high. So, he just seemed like he was always high to me. So I loved Beachcomber, not because I get high or nothing like that, but just because he was just cool. He was just so laid back and so chill. I mean, I'm from San Diego. He was like easy breezy, you know. So that was my moniker as a kid. And then the Skull Crunch, or I never had him as a kid, so I like Headmasters. I'll be picking this one up.
Cool. Well, I'll be looking forward to seeing those in your collection. I think that'll go great with the Weird Wolf that I think you already have.
I do.
And I'm assuming Mind Wipe is. Do you already have Mind Wipe? Did they already come
I already have Mind Wipe.
Okay. All right. There you go. So you'll have all three of them together again.
Yes.
All right. So next, some of them are out, some of them are coming out, but I thought these pictures were cool, and that is the New Age Sludges. So they have 6 different colors, a few with different heads, and they all do look really good. But what I really like is this picture. I don't know why, but whoever decided to take these pictures did a really good job with this. So how many of these are you picking up?
Just in case it's not big enough. How many would I pick up if they were Masterpiece? Let's see if that's it. How about that? Might be better.
I was like, what number is that? You'd be buying all of them?
I probably would. 5 of them.
Even the clear one?
I was going to say I wouldn't get the clear one, but I'd probably buy 5 of them. Definitely that eggplant one, the purple and green. I definitely.
Me too. That's the only one I would pick up. I was gonna say how many I would buy. Let me make it easier. Yeah, so I would only buy the eggplant Shattered Glass version. Not even as Shattered Glass Sludge, but just as a cool character. Because that's such a neat repaint.
It is. I would pick up the red one as well, just because it's so different and it's like a bright pop of red, and I really like that. Of course, you know, the one in between those two, I would get. It just looks really, really good and really, really clean. So yeah, I can't do it. Now if this goes on sale, $40, I'm there.
Honestly, if that SG one did, I'd get it, but I think it's already sold out in a few places, so I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, I don't either. Gosh, it looks good.
All right. Well, let's move on to what's recently released, and this first one is all for you. We've talked about it before on the show and how much you can't wait for it and how much you especially like the alt mode with the missile. And that's MMC's R51 Nimbus, or Prodidor Nimbus. I think that's what his name is. How many are you going to get? 3 of these so you could display it in all 3 modes? Or are you going to get 3 of them just to display all of them in that vehicle mode that's your favorite?
I don't get it. Not a fan of any of these modes. The bot mode is just okay.
I think from the waist up it looks fine, but I don't like those feet.
I don't like the feet. I love the colors in there. There seems to be a lot of, you know, colors, different colors. They go together well. You know, it looks like they look like, you know, the character had stickers, you know, from what I remember as a toy and things. So I like all that. I just do not like any of the modes on this. So I really like the Fans Hobby version in comparison. So I'm definitely passing on this one.
Yeah, if I was to get one, I'd get the Fans Hobby one. It's bigger, and this is not my favorite.
Yeah,
but
I already have 3 versions of that anyway.
Let's see if you're gonna pick up this next one. What about it, Bobby? It's Legends. Well, not Legends. It's oversized Legends, and it's a samurai, and it's a beast. That's like 3 for 3.
That's all you. You are the oversized
Honestly,
collector. You're the
I think this
beast
looks
collector.
nice. I'm not gonna lie, it looks nice, but we already talked about this a little bit. It's about $50, and that's just a little bit too much for this figure. The paint looks great. I like all the weapons. If you watch some of our other videos, I have a picture with him with an axe. These are the newer pictures. I think it looks really cool. I just can't justify that price tag.
With him holding the sword in the beast mode, that reminds me of Voltron.
Yeah.
And how they used to have, not swords, but like, some type of dagger or whatever in their mouth. So that's the best I got.
Yeah.
I will be passing on this one.
I like it. I just can't but if this one goes on sale, I'll be picking it up.
Well, let's hope that we get a couple of sales going on here.
Yep. All right. Well, that's everything we have for you today. What should they do, Bobby?
Oh, please, 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 as James mentioned at the beginning, subscribe, like, click that notification button so you'll always be aware of when we post new content. Share with your friends. Share with your enemies. Just share. Just tell them to go ahead and do it. Make a friend. We really appreciate it. We're almost at 500, and once we hit 500, we actually have some news coming out for you guys. So we really appreciate it, and thanks for the support. Comment as well. We love the comments, and I think I covered everything.
I think you're good. So we'll see you guys next time.
All right. And next time I will be in San Diego. So you'll have my virtual background, which will probably be me in a closet. So until next time, till all debates are won.